Of all the questions that I get asked the most in casting, the biggest question I get asked is, how do you get a SAG voucher? The second biggest question that I get asked is, what is SAG? So I'm going to explain how all of this works so I can finally put these questions to rest once and for all. What is SAG? SAG stands for Screen Actors Guild, and this is the union of professional actors that, if you've ever watched a lot of TV and movies, this is where most of those actors are from. People who work on set as background fill out a payment voucher to get paid. SAG and non-union actors fill out separate payment vouchers. So this is where we get the term SAG voucher. If you get 3 of those SAG vouchers, then you are eligible to join the union. In theory, by the time you have acquired 3 SAG vouchers, you have been in the business long enough to know how to look and act like a professional actor. So, why do people want to be SAG? Number one, for some people, it gives them proof that they are a professional actor, at least within themselves. Some talent agents and productions don't feel comfortable hiring people who aren't SAG, so that's another limitation there. But for some people, it's the fact that people who are SAG are paid at a higher rate than people who are non-union. As of this taping, the rate for a person who is working SAG in background is $130 for 8 hours of work. For a person who is non-union, is $60 for 8 hours of work. Then again, to join SAG, you have about $2,300 in initiation fees. So, how do you get the 3? I'm going to explain the 3 different avenues that SAG vouchers are distributed. Number 1, casting. Photo doubling. Do you remotely look like another actor? Sometimes on a production set, they can't get the actor that they need that day because he is somehow unavailable, so they need someone to literally step into his shoes. In order to photo double, you need to find out your sizes. Not the sizes you wish you could be, but your actual sizes. This includes your height, your weight, your hair color, your eye color, and all the various measurements around your body. Do you have a specialized skill? Can you skate on a skateboard? Can you play the bagpipes? Can you drive a stick? These are all examples of times when a SAG voucher was given to a non-union performer because this person had a specialized skill and we could not find someone who was SAG who had that skill. Most importantly, when I fill out a report to SAG on why this person who was non-union ended up getting a SAG spot, I can justify it. Now, granted, just because you do photo doubling work and have these special skills does not guarantee that you will get a SAG voucher. However, overall within your career, it's always a good asset to have. Through production. Sometimes we get requests from production to put particular people on set for the particular purpose of giving them a SAG voucher. This could be a director's sister or a producer's friend. When we at casting get these particular requests, we are obliged to fulfill them. This is what we call a political. So, if you have a good friend in the entertainment industry and is willing to do that for you, consider yourself very lucky. Take them out to dinner or to drinks, because essentially this person is putting their own reputation on the line to put you out on set on such a voucher. However, do not force your friend to put you out on set for a voucher when the timing is not right, thereby compromising his job. Recalls. Sometimes a shoot takes more than one day. Sometimes it's planned and other times it's spontaneous. But as an actor, it's always important to go to your recalls. Not only because it's the professional thing to do, but also on sets that I've seen, you have a 25% chance of actually getting a voucher because on a set, they are required to put out a number of SAG people on set per day. And it just so happens that they didn't have enough SAG people, and therefore, you are going to be one of the people that will be receiving a SAG voucher. Now, if a person states that they are not going to their recall unless they get a SAG voucher, there is a term for this. It is called holding a production hostage. This is because you are now threatening to ruin a director's shot unless you get a SAG voucher. Very rarely does this ever work. Also, keep in mind that in the process, you have now pissed off the production company, the producer, the director, the casting director, and the assistant directors who do not want to see you on any of their sets ever again. Multiply this by the number of productions that they are going to do after the current production that they're doing. In the end, it's not worth it. Go to the recall because it's a professional thing to do. On set. When you want to get a SAG voucher and you're on set, best thing to do is to go in early. Always ask earlier, don't ask later. But ask earlier, go to the person who's checking you in, and very nicely ask them, I know you get asked this a lot, but if you happen to have an extra SAG voucher, please keep me in mind. That's it. Walk away. Ask them once during the shoot if they need any help. Walk away again. Be attentive to what the AD or whoever's checking you in needs when they need you to be on set. Most importantly, do not pester them. Keep in mind that it's also not a hard or fast rule. Some ADs and coordinators believe that if you ask to get a SAG voucher, then you don't deserve one at all. Some believe that if you ask first, then they'll give it to the people who asked first and they'll keep an order of who asked. Some people feel that the SAG voucher should go to the person who had a lot of demands asked of them. Others are prone to flattery. Others can't stand that BS. So each production is different. But as one of the ADs had pointed out, if you get a SAG voucher this way, asking the question is worth the trouble. In general, the more that you go out on set, the more you're likely to get a SAG voucher. It's statistical probability. If you're going out to set 3 times a week, you're more likely to get a voucher than if you are to go on set once a week. The most idiotic thing that I've heard in this office time and time again is, I will not work unless it's for a SAG voucher. The translation to most casting directors is that I am a user and I really don't want work. You might as well ask me for a free cell phone while you're at it. If I have no idea what your work ethic is like, and you make no point to be professional or prepared, then you will be one of hundreds of actors who feel self-important to become an actor, and no one in production wants to deal with that. From what I've seen in this office, if you are working every day, you would probably approximate getting a voucher once every 6 to 8 months. People think that's a long time to get any kind of voucher, but keep in mind, first of all, you're competing with 100,000 actors who are already in the union, and the SAG voucher has to go to one of them first. After that, then based off of circumstance or based off of whatever happens, then you are able to get a voucher. If you are getting a SAG voucher faster than 6 months, you are actually doing rather well. One time, there was this woman who came in, and she said that she's been doing extra work for 4 years and has not received a single voucher. I took one look at her. Her hair was a complete mess. Her makeup was even worse. Her clothes were 4 sizes too small, and she was bulging in places that were completely inappropriate. When you talked to her, she complained and complained, and the first time we sent her out to set, she was half an hour late. Why would I want to give this person a SAG voucher? I wouldn't want to deal with her, and I would be ashamed to send her on any production that I was working with. Contrary to popular belief, this industry is not based off of who you know. It's based off of who knows you, who will look out for you and get you connected. People will only do that if you have the reputation of being professional, being very easy to work with, and knowing your own image, because they will like working with you. At that point, it really doesn't matter if you're SAG or not. Because if you're not SAG, then these people will help you get your SAG vouchers, and if you are SAG, these people will work on getting you more work. That's the biggest secret to this business. You don't need to be SAG to be successful. However, being in the union won't hurt you one bit.